Hi, I'm Keith Welch, and welcome to iOS app development. And welcome to the wonderful world of mobile development. I'm sure you'll find it interesting, challenging, and rewarding. In this course, we're going to teach you how to create basic iOS applications, and maybe some not so basic iOS applications. We'll first be telling you how you can register as an Apple developer, and how to create your first project, the contractually obligated Hello World project, of course. Then we'll show you how to create user interfaces, and we're going to be working with storyboards, which is the design platform for iOS that allows us to visually design our applications. And we'll be working with all sorts of controls. I think there are about 20 of them. We'll also be working with table views, which is a really special control. It's not just a data table as you might imagine. It's actually more of a list control, and it's used for a number of different reasons. And we'll spend some time with table views because you'll be using them a lot in iOS. We'll also be working with some of the platform features. We'll be working with location and GPS and mapping. So you'll be able to create your applications that are location aware, so your users will be able to find out where they are and where they might be going. Always a nice feature. We'll also do a little bit of social networking. And we'll do some reminders and alarms so that we can access the user's calendar and give them an alarm for some event or some appointment that they may have. And we'll do a little bit of file management. And speaking of data, we're going to work with data in a number of different ways. We'll work with it in a simple dictionary, which can be used for configuration settings and user preferences. And we'll work with JSON, which can be used for remote operations as well as local operations. And then we'll get into a local database, and we're going to be using SQLite, which is a really good database for mobile operations. So we'll work with that. And it's really easy to work with, which is nice. And then we'll do a little bit of file sharing with iCloud. With iCloud, we can share files up on Apple servers, and our application can share the files among different instances of the application for the user. So if the user has an iPad and an iPhone, they can share the files among those two devices. And then we'll get to the really hard part, publishing. Everybody's afraid of the App Store, and we're going to hopefully help you get over some of that fear. There are a number of steps to go through, but they're knowable things. Hey, I've published apps, so how hard can it really be? But besides that, we will take you through the Dev Center, which is the first thing you'll need to be through for publishing, and then we'll take you through iTunes Connect, which is the other thing that you'll need to be working with in terms of publishing your application. So, who am I? I've got 30 years of engineering and software experience. As you can see, I'm getting a little gray, and it's taken a bit of a toll on my head, but it's been a really interesting and fun career, and it's spanned a lot of different fields and worked in a lot of different industries, so things have actually kept pretty fresh along the way. And one of the big things that has kept things fresh is mobile development. I've been working in mobile for about 12 years. Back then, we didn't have iPhones. We were riding dinosaurs and such. The big choice that I had to make was whether I should work on Palm Pilots or Microsoft Pocket PCs. I'm sure you remember those. Well, I chose Microsoft, which was a pretty good choice at the time, given the information, and that worked for a while. But of course, iPhones and iPads and Android came along. So I've shifted over to those more modern operating systems. And Microsoft may indeed catch up someday, and I still do a little bit of Microsoft work. And Windows 10 is doing better than Windows 8, but Microsoft still has a minuscule share of mobile market. So it's really focused on iOS and Android. And for app development, it's really focused on iOS, because iOS still holds the lead in applications and application sales. So it's a very nice field to be in. I also have a combination where I've worked a lot with web applications and web services. And a lot of mobile development requires a web service to support the actual mobile app. For instance, social networking isn't very social without a web service to talk to. And a lot of times you need web applications that go along with those as companion or administrative apps. So, because I'm so darn old and I've done all that kind of stuff, I can do it and provide a full service to my clients. I am the owner of Mooseworks Software, and that's what I do. So that's who I am. And that's about enough about me. So let's talk about more iOS development and get going with our first project. So for this course, we're going to be working with the iOS framework, and we're going to be using the Swift programming language. Swift is a bit cleaner in my opinion than Objective-C. We'll be using the Xcode environment, which of course is free, but you have to be an Apple developer. And that basically is going to cost you $99 in order to be able to distribute to a device, which of course is really what you want to do. So we'll be working with Swift, and this course really won't be dealing with the syntax of Swift. There are other courses for that. This course will really be getting into the basics of the platform in terms of user interface development and feature development. And of course, publishing your app. So, that's enough about me and enough about the course. Let's get going on it and let's create some applications. It'll be fun.